The alien fleet hovered menacingly over Earth, their sleek, metallic ships glinting in the sunlight. Commander Xylor of the Zarkon Empire smirked, confident in their superior technology and firepower. "This primitive planet will be ours by sundown," he declared. Meanwhile, on the ground, humans scrambled to defend their home. Military forces were mobilized, but it was clear they were outmatched. Amidst the chaos, a young engineer named Jack discovered a potential weakness in the alien technology. He quickly contacted General Harris, the leader of Earth's defense forces. "General, I think I found something," Jack said, his voice trembling with both fear and excitement. General Harris leaned in, his eyes narrowing. "What is it, son?" "Their ships rely on a unique energy source that seems vulnerable to electromagnetic interference. If we can disrupt it, we might disable their ships," Jack explained. "How quickly can you make this happen?" the general asked, urgency evident in his tone. "I'll need a team and access to some equipment, but we can rig something up in a few hours," Jack replied, determination setting in. General Harris nodded sharply. "Do it. And Jack, the fate of humanity might rest on this. No pressure." Jack hurried to assemble a team of scientists and engineers. As the battle raged above, they worked tirelessly in an underground lab, racing against the clock. The sounds of explosions and distant gunfire served as a constant reminder of the stakes. "We're almost there," Jack muttered, his hands shaking as he made final adjustments to the improvised electromagnetic pulse device. Just a little more. Finally, the device was ready. Jack and his team transported it to a strategic location with a clear shot at the alien fleet. General Harris coordinated with ground forces to ensure their efforts were synchronized. "All units prepare to engage on my mark," General Harris commanded over the radio. "Jack, are you ready?" "Ready, sir," Jack confirmed, his heart pounding. "Do it." Jack activated the device. A powerful pulse shot into the sky, targeting the alien ships. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, one by one, several of the ships began to falter and lose power, crashing to the ground in fiery explosions. "Direct hit!" Jack shouted, a mix of relief and triumph in his voice. General Harris's voice crackled through the radio. "We've got them! All units push forward!" The unexpected success galvanized Earth's forces. For the first time since the invasion began, hope surged through the ranks. But Jack knew this was just the beginning. They had found a weakness, but the battle was far from over. As the battle raged on, Jack and a small team of scientists worked tirelessly to exploit the aliens' vulnerability. "It's a long shot, but if we can disrupt their energy source, we might stand a chance," Jack explained, wiping sweat from his brow. General Harris, desperate for any advantage, gave the green light. "Do it, Jack. The fate of humanity rests on your shoulders." With time running out, Jack and his team managed to hack into the alien ship's systems. Using an improvised electromagnetic pulse device, they launched their attack. The skies lit up as several alien ships suddenly lost power and crashed to the ground. In the command center, General Harris watched the screens with a mix of awe and determination. "We've got to keep up the pressure. We need more of these devices," he said, turning to Jack. "I'm on it," Jack replied, already working on plans to scale up their efforts. "But it's not going to be easy. We'll need more resources, more people." "Consider it done," the general said. "I'll make sure you get everything you need." Meanwhile, Commander Xylor watched in disbelief as his fleet began to falter. "How is this possible?" he roared, slamming his fist on the control panel. His second-in-command, Zareth, looked equally stunned. "The humans have found a way to disrupt our power sources," Zareth reported, his voice shaking. "We need to adapt, quickly." Xylor snarled. "Deploy the ground troops! We'll crush them from within!" On the ground, humans were invigorated by the unexpected success. "We've got them on the ropes!" General Harris shouted, rallying his troops. "Let's show them what we're made of!" Jack's device had given humanity a fighting chance, but the battle was far from over. As more alien ships descended, Jack and his team scrambled to replicate their success on a larger scale. The lab became a whirlwind of activity, with everyone working at breakneck speed. Amidst the chaos, Jack received a call from his sister Emily, who was stationed on the front lines. "Jack, whatever you're doing, keep it up. We're seeing the difference out here," she said, her voice filled with both fear and hope. "We're doing everything we can, Em," Jack replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "Just hang in there." As the day wore on, the battle intensified. Alien ground troops began to land, bringing the fight directly to the human defenders. Jack and his team barely had time to eat or rest as they continued to churn out EMP devices. Finally, as the sun began to set, the first batch of new devices was ready. Jack delivered them personally to the front lines, where General Harris was coordinating the defense. "Good work, Jack," the general said, clapping him on the back. "Now let's see if we can turn this tide for good." With renewed vigor, Earth's forces deployed the new EMP devices, targeting the alien troops and ships. The effect was immediate and devastating. Alien machinery sputtered and died, leaving the invaders vulnerable. The turning tide of the battle brought a new wave of hope. But Jack knew that the fight was far from over. The Zarkons were relentless, and humanity would need every ounce of courage and ingenuity to claim victory. With their numbers dwindling, the aliens launched a desperate, all-out assault. Earth's forces braced for the final confrontation. "This is it," General Harris said grimly. "We either win today, or we lose everything." Jack and his team worked frantically, creating as many EMP devices as possible. The air was thick with tension, and the constant sound of explosions outside only added to the urgency. "We need to get these to the front lines, now," Jack said, handing a newly completed device to a soldier. As more alien ships descended, Jack and his team scrambled to replicate their success on a larger scale. The lab became a whirlwind of activity, with everyone working at breakneck speed. In the thick of battle, Emily radioed in, her voice urgent. "Jack, we're pinned down here. We need those EMPs fast." Jack's heart raced. "Hang on, Emily. We're on our way." He and a small team loaded the devices onto a truck and sped toward the front lines. The scene was chaotic, with explosions lighting up the sky and soldiers fighting fiercely on the ground. They reached Emily's position just in time, handing out EMP devices to the troops. Emily hugged her brother tightly. "You're a lifesaver, Jack." "No time for that now," Jack said, pulling away. "We've got a battle to win." Commander Xylor watched in disbelief as his fleet continued to falter. "How is this possible?" he roared, slamming his fist on the control panel. On the ground, humans were invigorated by the unexpected success. "We've got them on the ropes," General Harris shouted, rallying his troops. "Let's show them what we're made of." Jack's device had given humanity a fighting chance, but the battle was far from over. Alien ground troops began to land, bringing the fight directly to the human defenders. The scene was chaotic, with explosions lighting up the sky and soldiers fighting fiercely on the ground. In the midst of the chaos, Jack's team managed to hack into the alien ship's systems. Using an improvised electromagnetic pulse device, they launched their attack. The skies lit up as several alien ships suddenly lost power and crashed to the ground. But for every ship that fell, more seemed to take its place. In a dramatic showdown, human ingenuity and resilience were put to the ultimate test. Jack and his team managed to amplify their EMP device, sending a massive pulse through the alien fleet. One by one, the alien ships fell from the sky, and the invaders were forced to retreat. The humans fought with everything they had, using the EMP devices to disable alien equipment and turn the tide of the battle. It was a brutal, desperate struggle, but slowly, surely, the momentum began to shift in favor of Earth. Jack and Emily found themselves fighting side by side, their bond stronger than ever in the face of such adversity. "We can do this, Jack," Emily shouted over the din of battle. "Yeah," Jack replied, determination etched on his face. "We have to." As night fell, the alien forces began to retreat, their numbers decimated and their morale shattered. The humans, though battered and exhausted, stood victorious. The cost had been high, but they had proven their strength and resolve. With the alien forces in retreat, Earth's defenders seized the moment to secure their hard-won victory. The battlefield was littered with the wreckage of alien ships and disabled machinery, a testament to the fierce struggle that had taken place. General Harris stood amidst the chaos, issuing orders to his troops. "Push forward! Don't let them regroup!" he commanded, his voice ringing with authority. The soldiers, though exhausted, moved with renewed vigor, knowing that the end was in sight. Jack and Emily, still fighting side by side, made their way to a makeshift command post. "General, the EMP devices worked better than we could have hoped," Jack reported, catching his breath. "Outstanding work, Jack," General Harris said, clapping him on the shoulder. "You and your team have done humanity a great service." As the final alien ships fled Earth's atmosphere, Commander Xylor sat slumped in his command chair, defeated. "We underestimated them," he muttered bitterly. "These humans, they're more resilient than we ever imagined." Back on the ground, the mood shifted from tense determination to a mix of relief and celebration. Soldiers hugged each other, tears of joy and exhaustion streaming down their faces. Civilians emerged from shelters, cheering and waving as news of the victory spread. Jack and Emily stood together, looking out at the sunrise breaking over the horizon. "We did it," Emily said softly, her voice filled with awe. "Yeah," Jack replied, a smile spreading across his face. "We really did." In the days that followed, Earth began the process of rebuilding. Communities came together to repair the damage and mourn those lost in the battle. The victory had come at a great cost, but it had also forged a new sense of unity and determination among humanity. Jack's role in the victory did not go unnoticed. He and his team were hailed as heroes, their ingenuity and bravery celebrated by people around the world. Jack, however, remained humble. "It wasn't just us," he said in an interview. "It was everyone. Every soldier, every scientist, every person who fought and believed we could win." General Harris addressed the world in a broadcast. "We faced an enemy unlike any we've ever seen," he said, "but we stood together, and we prevailed. Let this be a reminder that no matter the odds, humanity's spirit is unbreakable." As life slowly returned to normal, the lessons of the invasion were not forgotten. Nations worked together to strengthen Earth's defenses, ensuring they would be ready for any future threats. The bonds forged in the heat of battle laid the foundation for a more united and resilient world. Jack and Emily returned to their lives, forever changed by their experiences. They knew that the threat of the Zarkon Empire might one day return, but they also knew that humanity would be ready. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious, proving once and for all that they were not to be underestimated. As they watched the night sky, now free of alien invaders, Jack turned to Emily. "No matter what comes next, we'll face it together," he said. "Together," Emily agreed, her eyes shining with determination. And so, the story of Earth's greatest battle came to a close, not with the end of a war, but with the beginning of a new era of hope and unity.